Chop it down. Chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. I just appreciate everybody watching.
Watch him throw the ball. We gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Dive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Good morning to all my morning trappers. Checking in as soon as we get started. My bad for the delay. You know what I'm saying? I had to take care of some things right quick. Okay. Go get my music going. You know what I gotta get. Hold on 1 second. Is this it? Here we go. Oh, all right. Everybody, Tuesday go, man. I know it's a little crazy for Washington guys and girls. Yet again, right? You know, we had to deal with the Jim Irsay news. On the Trap or Dive podcast, we had more quarterback debates. Sam Howell, Taylor Heineke. Several things that is on everybody's mind when it comes to the Commanders. So that is interesting. But despite all that, and despite everything that they got going on, Wednesdays is all about football. And I actually like Wednesdays, man. I really like Wednesdays because we just get to sit here and actually look at, football. Like, we ain't worried about Ron Rivera stuff. We ain't worried about Dan Snyder, even though we don't talk about Dan that much on here. And we ain't worried about nothing else except for the players, how the players playing. In the last couple of weeks. Now, granted, for everybody that is here, I was contemplating, like, should I even dive into the offense? This is going to be a defensive focused session, and we haven't done that the last couple of weeks. Primarily because the offense was really struggling, and that was a priority. we had to talk about these guys, but now with Taylor in, is it worth going over the offense? Like, we could talk about some scheme things and maybe some things on the line, the offensive line. But things may change a little bit with Taylor Heineke. And what I mean by change, like, his mobility adds in a certain factor that eliminates some of the issues that Carson Wentz was getting into. So I was like, would it be a waste of time? And I don't think it would be ultimately, but I think it does do us a disservice moving forward because the evaluations may be a little different on some of the players. But okay, that's my opening thoughts on how this thing played. I think ultimately we can start with the defense and just keep it pushing from there. There were some good that came out of this film session. Obviously, when you hold the team to 7 points, you did something good, or you may have gotten lucky, like that 2018 season where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost to the Commanders or the Skins 16-3. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers racked up 500 yards against the Commanders or the Skins and lost and only got held to 3 points. Shout out to Ryan Fitzpatrick, by the way. He was part of that game. Threw 2 picks. Man threw for 400 yards too. That was a game. I don't even know how that shit happened. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. I'll go ahead and start off with the good. And if you all seen my article on Hogs Haven, that's your cheat code for this film session. It's also not all of the clips that I have to kind of encapsulate the day that Washington had against the Bears. But we're done talking. Let's go ahead and get right into it. And break down what we got. What we got. I'm gonna go in order too. That'll help with the plays. Let me see. Present video. Ooh wee. All right. And let's list it. Nope, wrong way. Details. Boom. There we go. All right. Okay. Boom. And now let's go in order. My bad. I'm just gathering the plays up. All right. Let's start with the good, man. Individual plays. Let me actually exit the overlay. Let's make sure we good on that side. Let's make sure we good over here as well. Okay, boom. I think we're good. Okay, boom. All right. So here's what we got. I'll run the play and we'll talk about it. And then we'll show the end zone angle as well. Now, this play was called back or given a first down for Washington for Chicago because Jonathan Allen was holding on the play. But as I explain what's going on here, or at least what I'm saying, I do want to acknowledge that the holding does not get in the way of the play that was made from the other guys. I don't even think Jonathan Allen holding, I think it was a cheap hold, but I don't think him holding really had anything to do with the plays that were made behind him. So obviously you see the fullback in motion moving to the left pre-snap, right? Toss play, simple toss play. What looks like some zone type of structure with the offensive line. But ultimately what you're seeing as well, and also this is going to help moving forward because I think that's Montez Sweat at the edge. You'll see a play made by F.A. Abada where he actually attacks this very good. But anyway, here we go. Right. So you have a heavy side with a tight end, I believe, and then a fullback. And then you got your receiver on that side. Montez Sweat is engaging with the tight end. And now you have Cam Curl, who is actually outside of him. I'm only explaining like this because I realize y'all can't see my clicker, my mouse. So you have Cam Curl, who's on the outside, right above or a line right on top of Montez Sweat. And you have those two trying to force back inside, both Cam Curl and Montez Sweat, right? At first, you see your receivers doing a good job trying to seal the edge for the running back to get around. Excuse me. Oh boy. So now at this point, right, keep looking at Cam Curl, his ability, along with the backside pursuit and Cole Holcomb and Jamie Davis, but primarily Cam Curl forcing this play back inside. Now he does trip, but he understands his assignment, right? Understanding that he has some pursuit on the inside that's going to make the play for him as long as he fights himself outside. Now you have Montez Sweat with his long arms being able to move that tight end and create this opportunity to force back inside. And everybody else is there to rally. So let me show the end zone angle. That'll probably do us more justice. Here we go. Boy, Jesus Christ. My bad, y'all. I'm going to keep playing it. My bad. So you can see this angle a little bit clearer. Obviously, Cam Curl has some good awareness in the box. This will make him pretty good in terms of that Buffalo nickel roll and the ability to use that 3 safety look and have Cam Curl roam around in the box like this. Obviously he sees the block very quickly from the wide receiver, understands, he sees where his eyes are in terms of where the football is. Now he fights to get back and maintain that outside leverage, right? Trips. But ultimately the job is done between him and Montez Sweat. And now you just got good pursuit between Cole Holcomb. Jamie Davis is in the right position. He beat the second level block, right? 76 tries to climb. Beats it. So he's in position for anything backside. Ultimately, play is made. I think it's like a 1-2 yard gain, something like that. Bro, my bad, y'all. That was the 4th play of the game. So yeah, good job by everybody to beat the angles in terms of the second level, the linebackers. Cam Curl able to fight his way outside and maintain that outside leverage, forcing the running back inside to his help, to Cam Curl's help, and everybody else is winning. Again, this play was called back because of a holding, but I don't think that had anything to do with the fact that, you know, they were actually in position to make the play. It had to do with Montez Sweat and Cam Curl really doing this, not necessarily Jonathan Allen holding an offensive lineman. Okay. Another play. Which one is this? Is this the... Make sure we good. Okay. So now here we go. Some good, some bad, right? So this is 3rd and 19. And I think the theme as we continue throughout the session, trying to understand who we were up against, who the Washington Commanders were up against offensively, you'll start to see that while the Commanders had some pretty good plays, right? I think individual plays, sound coverage on occasion from certain defenders, good help on occasion from certain defenders. It must be the season or something, man. My bad. Like, you'll understand that Justin Fields is who he is and that he missed several opportunities as well through decisions that he didn't make and the decisions that he did make. Right? So here we go. I'll let it run and then we'll talk about it. Okay, let's go ahead and run it back. So essentially what you're seeing here, right? You see the screen set up. Let's go ahead. You see the screen set up between the running back, Justin Fields, and the running back and Justin Fields and the offensive lineman, to be clear. However, with Washington being in that cover one situation, I think this was really good discipline. You saw the structure right there, but this will probably give you a better angle as well. You see the structure in terms of like how everything was designed. Cam Curl is looking like the spy player in this situation, right? And then you have Cole Holcomb on the running back. And when you have a man situation when a screen call, it shouldn't be hard at all to get stay in front of your man or stay beside your man, especially with the linebackers or anybody who's on the running back. As long as you read it, you're able to really stay in position. And that's what Cole Holcomb was able to do here. I didn't mean to do that. But also, at this point, right, and the reason why I brought up, you know, you're not going to, like, the Justin Fields aspect. The play is dead. Think about the first week of the season with Jacksonville, and we're talking about Trayvon Walker. Play is dead. Dirted. And ultimately, you know, Daron Payne gets a sack as a result of his inability to throw the ball away. But here's what's going on that's good. Like, obviously, like if Justin Fields is smart, throw it away, there's no sack. But you have Cole Holcomb in position on the man. Now you have Cam Curl in position to close out any scramble opportunity that Justin Fields wanted. So those are the first things, right? The man is done. Screen is dead. Now you got Cam Curl in a good spot position. He's playing. He's staying disciplined. He's not pursuing the quarterback right now. He's making sure that run lane is closed from his perspective. And now you have Jonathan Allen, right? An excellent bull rush on 62. He ain't letting 62 go nowhere. Like I forgot what it's called. Like his technique, it's like a bear wrap or something. I don't know the name of the official technique. But now you got him driving them back into the center. Like, look at this part. Let's go back. Let's go back right quick. Look at 62's feet. Look at 62's feet. Up. Up. One more time. Up. You have no base. You have no base. Jonathan Allen lifts this man up. He has no base, and now he's fighting for his life. He is fighting for his life, getting driven back to the center. To the quarterback. So ultimately, they do a really good job keeping Justin Fields in the pocket, and Cam Curl does a really good job staying disciplined with his spy. He's not moving anywhere. He's not committing, because if some lane gets escaped, right, or excuse me, if Fields finds a lane to escape from the pocket and you're not there spying on this man, right, and you can't commit because you're up there trying to get that sack right now, that's a problem. So now that the contact has been initiated by Casey Toohill, Cam Curl is all go. Now he's good. Cam Curl played that excellent, especially against a mobile quarterback in Justin Fields, right? He played this excellent. So that was a really good play. Ultimately should have been avoided from Justin Fields by simply getting rid of the football. But you see and understand how on Washington's side, they were able to really keep Justin Fields in the pocket on a screenplay from a well-executed pass rush from Jonathan Allen, and then good discipline between Casey Toohill and Daron Payne on the right side of the offense to maintain gap integrity on their rush lanes and stuff like that. So really good job from all three defenders on the line, and then obviously Cam Curl and Cole Holcomb as well. All right, so let's go ahead and keep it pushing. Here we go. Which one is this? I said I was going to go over the good first, but I think I'm just going in order of the play calls. Let me see which one this was. My bad. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. This is... Let me find this one up. Okay, here we go. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to go in order. Because it's going to be a lot to filter. Okay. So there's a couple things that's going. What's up, Dakota? There's a couple things that's going on this play, right? Let's start at the line of scrimmage. And Washington is going to see a lot of this against Green Bay. And I'm gonna show you all. Once we get a couple plays in, I'm gonna show you all exactly kind of the differences in how the Jets handled some of Aaron Rodgers' play actions versus how Washington has handled it against Justin Fields. Aaron Rodgers is a really good play action quarterback. Like, I remember looking at Matt Corral in the draft this year just to start getting my homework done on him, and he had really good play fakes. And I was like, this shit looks like Aaron Rodgers to me, bro. Like, this looks like really good. So I started looking up at Aaron Rodgers' play action fakes, and this guy's, I mean, I knew it, but like actually studying it, like, he is a magician with the football. And I think the difference is in how Washington and New York, the Jets, handled them was like it pops out on the screen, right? So here we go. Like I said, we're gonna start with the front, the second level, and we're gonna work our way back. So now you got this boot action, right, between Justin Fields and his running back, what looks like Herbert. The boot action sucks up Cole Holcomb and Jamin Davis into the wash, right? So at that immediate point, I think they're running what looks like quarters, but they give 2 seconds. My bad, y'all. Okay, here we go. All right, so you get this boot action, and it leaves that tight end right there behind the linebackers. He's in the wash at first, selling the run, second level type of blocking, but he slips right past Cole Holcomb. Automatically open right now. That's a big gain. And you see that Justin Fields ultimately finds him. But the point is, the linebackers are getting sucked up. And they're not necessarily too disciplined in terms of like how to properly balance, like, I don't know the right word for it, but how to maintain your depth, but also give respect to the run in the same aspect. So that's a completed ball, right? Ball should have been out way before that, but now here we go on the back end. Now we're going to look at the bottom of our screen. Kendall Fuller, number 29. He's at the 40-yard line. You recognize him. Now look at the midfield. The person on the logo, Bobby McCain. I think this is the quarters defense call. So what you're seeing right here is a receiver taking that inside stem, right? And Kendall Fuller is essentially maintaining outside leverage and he's taking anything deep, he's committing on, right? Anything breaking in, he's committing. Like, that's his guy. So now you have Derek Forrest and Kendall Fuller on the same man, and he's playing his responsibilities properly. But at this point, I think not Kendall, and I'm gonna get back to Kendall, but I think that Derek Forrest is probably still supposed to stay over the top, especially if you're in the 4, right? You can't give up the big play, like, especially if you're running a 4. If you're running quarters, man, you got over top. So I think that Derek Forrest still messes up here, right? But he sees that somebody's wide open, so he tries to take him. You shouldn't really be trying to do somebody else's job either, but it is what it is. All right, so back to the point. Derek Forrest messes up. He jumps on the short route, right? And now you have Kendall Fuller one-on-one with the receiver outside. And he explodes past Kendall Fuller, right? Explodes past Kendall Fuller. And he don't really stand a chance. But you see Bobby McCain, a person that nobody respects for whatever reason on this defense. In this fan base. Bobby McCain recognizes what's going on here. Bobby McCain also recognizes that there's nobody in his zone. Benjamin St-Juste has everything handled on the top end of the 40, the top of your screen. There's nobody going vertically. So he commits to anything downfield. Kendall Fuller points him out. He communicates like, I need some help. And now you have Bobby McCain in a full-fledged foot race to get over top of that receiver. Somebody on Twitter asked me, like, I had posted this clip to Mark Bullock because I was like, yo, I just don't get how people can continue to just blame Bobby McCain for everything. Like, I think what people don't understand is Bobby McCain is good in coverage. He's a sound cover guy. Where he comes into issues, similar to Kendall Fuller, even though Kendall Fuller has a little bit more issues than Bobby, is at the catch point. Bobby McCain doesn't make plays on the football. Bobby McCain ain't picking passes off like that. Like, it has to be a layup for Bobby McCain to pick a pass off. And the game against Tennessee, people were saying, how do you get beat by a receiver? And I'm sitting here thinking, are we watching the same thing? The receiver didn't catch the pass because he beat Bobby McCain. The receiver caught the pass because Bobby McCain lost the football. He didn't know where the football was. So my point is, I'm not excusing Bobby McCain for anything. He's not that good as a tackler. He'll give you a tackle or two, but he's not that good as a tackler. He's not that good at the catch point, but he is sound in coverage. And he recognizes a lot of patterns. He recognizes where he's supposed to be. He also, and he's a playmaker. This is a playmaker. This is a playmaker play that's not going to get credit because the ball didn't go to him. He saved one of his teammates. He helped out one of his teammates, but he ain't getting credit for it. So for all the flack that Bobby McCain, and this is one play, right? But I think the reason why I'm pointing this out and the reason why I'm committed the way I am is the fact that, you know, plays like this go unnoticed because they don't show it on the screen. They don't show it on the TV copy. And if you ain't watching the tape, you ain't gonna see nothing like this. So Bobby McCain giving help over the top is just as big as, because if a better receiver, if a better quarterback recognizes the opportunity that he has downfield and he wants to take that shot, it's going to get shut down because Bobby McCain went to help out Kendall Fuller because Derek Forrest committed on the crosser instead of staying over top of his guy. Right? It's as simple as that. Let me check in with the comments. I see we got a couple comments. What's going on, Hawk? What's going on, Rich, man? Good morning to the Morning Trappers. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta help myself out, bro. Something going on today. My bad. Yeah, I don't know what's going on today. But yeah, if you're just checking in, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you are not subscribed to the Trap or Die podcast, we are, let's see, we are 32 subscribers away from 1K, man. So how y'all going to act? If you just checking in, if you ain't been here before, how you going to act, man? Don't miss out on the content. But yeah, today is a defensive film session, primarily focused on the defense. I'm liking, or at this point, I'm showing, what is this? The breakdown in coverage from the second level, and then also understanding that Bobby McCain, you know, is actually a pretty solid coverage guy. And there's different aspects to being a cover guy. It's not all about what can you do at the catch point. How do you prevent the pass from even being thrown in the first place? It's called being in position. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep it pushing. Where are we at? Video file. Again, same thing. Play action. So in this instance, you have, what play is this so I can figure it out? Video file. This is play 12. Okay. Play 12. Get my notes together. So here's the thing. Cole Holcomb, Jamin Davis. Boot action sucks him up. Completely sucks him up, right? And now you have the middle of the field wide open, right? The issue is Chicago has nobody to occupy the middle of the field. There's nobody there to occupy the middle of the field. So this gain is mitigated, and essentially because of the routes, the play is covered. They do an excellent job coverage-wise from the third level, covering everybody. And obviously the safety, you see, I think that's Derek Forrest, I believe, getting back to give help on Benjamin St-Juste. If not, Bobby McCain, I can't tell from these numbers, from this situation. But at the end of the day, everybody's covered. Everybody's reading this well. Rashad Wildgoose is on the crosser, able to pick up the crosser. Cam Curl is able to communicate that to him as well. So like the good zone eyes and the good feel, right? He has a good feel. Wildgoose I'm talking about. He has a good feel for a defender in his area. He's running with him. Play is covered. And then ultimately, Justin Fields goes down. So again, my point back to the middle of the field. When your linebackers are getting sucked up the way they are, that is an exploit for a guy like Aaron Rodgers in a run game in the Green Bay Packers with good running backs with those guys. So understand that and things like that. So yeah, there you go, Jay. What's going on? Appreciate you checking in. So yeah, that was really good. That was really good coverage for the play call that Chicago ran. Okay, let's go ahead and keep it pushing. Where we at? That was play 12. Okay, boom. Another guy making a play, Wildgoose. I just mentioned him in the previous play, right? He had good eyes, good feel, instinctive feel for somebody in his zone, able to carry that crosser to the sideline, eliminates the route. Now you have Wildgoose making a play in the box. And for all of the noise that we had about his penalties in that Eagles game, Wildgoose is a solid player. He has some good coverage reps in this game, and I think I have some more. Either way, we'll get into it. But here's what you're seeing right here. Daron Payne is the play side one tech, right? Wait, is this the play side? Yeah, play side. All right, so you have, look at 76. Because I know I don't have my mouse. Y'all don't see my mouse. 76, the right guard, and 75, the right tackle. Daron Payne is lined up in between those two. And their goal is to get a good fit for 76. So 75 does a slight help. And it's a combo, essentially. However, Daron Payne, first step is inside anyway. So that little nudge, obviously, like the goal and the more important thing, because you'll see on the other side too. So as we discuss this, look at 62, the left guard, and the center right there. So the goal is always to defeat your doubles. You have to stalemate like the goal. You have to stalemate or beat. You can't get driven off the ball like this, right? So Deron Payne, if I showed you the other angle, Deron Payne is getting driven off the ball by like, I think that's about 10 yards. I mean, you can see it. It's bad on this angle, but Deron Payne is getting driven off the ball for about 10 yards. So that hole is there. And not only that, the combo was so good, 75, the right tackle was able to climb to Cole Holcomb immediately. Like, it's easy for him. So here's what you're seeing. Wild Goose doesn't know that he is essentially the only person that can make this play. He's just playing ball. But he's able to defeat that receiver, right? Defeat the receiver's angle. 11 takes a terrible angle at Wild Goose. But he's able to defeat that angle, squeeze, and get inside, right? And hold on for dear life until he gets some help. But what you're seeing, let's go back again. Or at least what I'm seeing is if he defeats that, Cole Holcomb is done. Deron Payne is done. I think that's Jonathan Allen on the left side. He holds his weight. He's able to stalemate that double team. Oh, no, never mind. I barely looked at him when I was looking at this live. I was looking at Deron Payne and Cole Holcomb. But he gets driven off the ball. Really good play for these guys. And in theory, like I said, if Wild Goose doesn't make this play, this is like a 20-yard game. Like, I'm going left. I'm going right behind 76. I'm going right behind 76. Like, take me to the promised land, shawty. I'm following him. Take me to the promised land because Cole Holcomb ain't going to tackle me. Good play. Very good play about Wild Goose. Very good play by Wild Goose. Okay. Red zone. Another play. So here's an opportunity. Now, obviously, Washington did a really good job in the red zone statistically. 0 for 3, holding the Chicago Bears to 0 points. And obviously, we know there was an occasion or two during the game where you knew that Justin Fields blew some opportunities to get these guys in the end zone. This is being one of them. The interception, right? Like, this is very fluke, but this is also a byproduct of the quarterback. Like, you can't allow that to happen. Like, it's fluke, but also like it's rare for that to happen. But here we go. This is a man situation. Man across the board. So now you have a couple things. You have the guy in the flat, number 19, who was wide open, right? And I'm not expecting Justin Fields to look that way because his initial read is right. This is a touchdown. I'm just saying that there's two people open, and I don't know how they're going to handle this moving forward, but it's also just naturally when you run that cover 0 or that cover 1, it's naturally going to be picks if you run the right routes. And Bobby McCain has to fight through that. I would say go under as opposed to over. Like, that's the only thing that I would say is, like, you got to go under these guys instead of going over top because you leave this separation right here. I'm looking at the top of my screen, mind you. You see this separation right here is natural. So it's really on Bobby to get under these guys, get under these receivers and these corners so you can meet this guy in the flat. Right now, it's a touchdown. So if I had to critique, it's not that Justin Fields didn't see him and it should have been a touchdown. It's that if he was looking that way and the play was designed to look that way at first, Bobby McCain had an issue because he took the wrong angle to get to the receiver. Now back to where Justin Fields is looking. You have Cole Kmet on Cam Curl. He wins right there. He wins right there. And if we're talking about the center guy, right? I think that's, who is that? Wild Goose. Wild Goose doesn't really have eyes on the tight end. Like, so Wild Goose and that receiver is out of the play. You're looking at a guy who's going to be running under that route for a touchdown. Only difference is, that's that. So in instance, what I'm showing is obviously a Cam Curl rep, but I think it's more about certain receivers or certain type of body types that's in front of Cam Curl. And I think that Robert Tonyan presents that opportunity for the Green Bay Packers if they can have that matchup against a Cam Curl. I don't know how physical Robert Tonyan is at the catch point, right? Or at the break point where he's breaking in on his route or breaking out of his route. But if you can create that separation, it's going to be the same look for Aaron Rodgers. Like, all right, how do we isolate this guy on this guy? And I want to make sure if we do get that isolation and that man look, I'm taking my chances with my tight end every single time. Because I ain't about to get the ball battered on a helmet. I don't see myself getting that fluke of an interception. So ultimately, that's what that is. We can keep it pushing. Overall, you go over 3. That's a you problem. That's a you problem. Okay. We have a ton of plays. Okay. So I think this is the big run play. So here's the thing. Washington played this right. Like everything leading up into the tackle, I think Washington played this right. Like they shifted properly. It wasn't overcommittal, right? Like you're in position right here to make the play. But the issue comes in, obviously, when you miss a tackle, but now you have the entire defense over pursuing. Like the football is right here. Break down. Everybody is over pursuing the football. They haven't stopped running. So now this was a difficult play for Jamin Davis to make too, mind you. Like he's already going up against a solid blocker, solid blocking tight end, and he sheds him, gets him off him, and now he has to make a play based on how Herbert, I believe, reacts. He gives him a little stutter and bounces outside, but he holds him for like 2 seconds or a second. I lied. He holds him for like a second. Now you have F.A. Obata, Bobby McCain, I think that's Cam Curl on the backside, all over pursuing. So now he's able to get past all of them. And obviously now you're off to the races. Benjamin St-Juste has to make the play in open field. Isn't able to do that. He misses a tackle. And then boom. There you go. That's how you get a big play. So they're in position to make the play. And let me show you another instance in which the Bears tried it so we can kind of see what it looks like. Let's see. See if I have it. Or maybe I just notated it. Ooh. Yeah, maybe we'll get back to it. Okay. I don't gotta worry about this one. Actually, we should. This is a little concerning, but it's a little light. Good play action fake. Obviously, we talked about the opportunities that they missed in the red zone. That was one of them. But I think the key here is when you're in a cover, this is a man situation. And maybe F.A. Obata, I think this was F.A. Obata. Maybe F.A. Obata was supposed to stick with this guy. But the reason why I think that it wasn't supposed to be him, because if you're man on man in a situation, right? How is it that Cam Curl and Cole Holcomb aren't responsible for anybody on that side? And here's what I mean by that. You'll see it. Let me go back. You got 3 tight ends or 2 tight ends and 1 receiver. So a 3-by-1. Let me go ahead and try and find it. Here we go. Two people are flowing over there. You got 2 people flowing to the left side of the offense. But neither one of these guys, in Cam Curl or Cole Holcomb, who are in the middle of the field right now, are covering anybody. Right? Neither one of them are covering anybody. So was F.A. Obata supposed to stay on the tight end? I'm not too sure. Maybe he was. But I feel like for those two to be in the middle of the field covering nobody, I know one of them was supposed to have the motion man or the sixth man at 88. I know one of them was supposed to be there. Somebody else was supposed to have the running back, right? And that's Derek Forrest. Derek Forrest is out there. Or 19, excuse me. So I'm trying to figure out who's supposed to have 84. Again, maybe it's FL Obata, but my point is, back in red zone offense, I don't think the Green Bay Packers are going to shy away from this. I think they're going to try again, and they're going to see if they can create that same confusion that the Chicago Bears had, except for Justin Fields overthrew this man. So who knows, but that's an issue. These things have been issues for a good portion of the season. Understanding assignments, and I think that's a difference between miscommunication and just not understanding your assignment or getting confused. A lot of people harp on miscommunication, and we're going to see what that looks like coming up. But ultimately, that's kind of, the issue. Let's go ahead and get into the miscommunication part. So, obviously, as you see, that's an incomplete pass, right? Very good for Washington. It's a win for Washington. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Play 29. All right, cool. But this is a 3rd and 3. So on a 3rd and 3, in a different situation again with a better quarterback, you're going to run into something like this. You're going to see some crossers. You're going to see some form of a mesh concept that puts conflict on the defense, right? So while Washington handles the trip side well between Wild Goose and Benjamin St-Juste, right? And this is the coverage rep. My bad. So let's go ahead and talk about Wild Goose right quick. But you see, like, while it does look like guy got a step on him, right? And a good throw would essentially put it over the top. He's still right in his hip pocket. Like, nothing changed. He's in his hip pocket the entire way, even with the guy setting like a quote unquote pick down the field with his release. Wild Goose is in his hip pocket, staying downfield in phase. Like, he's there to make a play on the football if the ball was like a better throw. So he's there. And now it all comes down to ball skills. Like, can you make a play on the ball? And that's what it came down to Wild Goose. So that was really good coverage. That was really good coverage by Benjamin St-Juste. But the issue now comes in between Kendall Fuller at the top of your screen. If you look at the boundary side, the 40-yard marker, and you have Bobby McCain in the center covering the tight end. So at this point is where the confusion comes in, right? Kendall Fuller points to the crosser. He points to the crosser as soon as he breaks inside, right? So the question is, was he even pointing to Bobby McCain? Like, he could have been pointing to the linebacker. Who knows? He could have been pointing to the linebacker, but I doubt it. But anyway, they're confused with the coverage call, right? Kendall Fuller thinks that because of the angle, you can tell by where he stopped. I think where Cole Kmet is going from his angle, from his stem, he probably thinks that he's going to continue to push vertically. So Kendall Fuller is out in no man's land checking nobody because he thinks that tight end is going to continue on his crosser. So in theory, what's going on? He thinks that Bobby McCain will have enough time to hit that crosser that's coming back towards him, meaning the receiver. Instead, nobody picks him up at all. It's wide open. But Justin Fields misses him right in front of him for a 3rd and 3, which could have been a very big conversion for the Chicago Bears. We're seeing here is the miscommunication aspect, not understanding what to do in that man call and who's supposed to overtake what. I don't know who's at fault, and I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody who's at fault because we don't know what their responsibility is in terms of communication and picking up other things. Because there's also another instance in which they are able to communicate, right? And they are able to pick up something, but they're late. They're still late, and that'll be a problem as well. So you're seeing communication, but it's poor. And it may look like Kendall Fuller was probably supposed to carry that. I don't know. But my bet is he was probably supposed to carry that. That's my bet. And I may be wrong. But yeah, there you go. That's miscommunication aspect. Let's go ahead and keep it pushing. Ooh, this ain't gonna look too good either. Just a few plays later. And Cam Curl was credited for his sack on this. I don't know how this like the Jamin Davis one against Philly where he was credited for his sack. Like, how does that even happen? I don't know. But anyway, 2-minute situation. I think under 2 minutes left in this game in the first half. They do a good job for the most part covering everybody except for Kendall Fuller, who was at the top of your screen. So now he's in a bail technique, right? Eyes on quarterback. He's trying to maintain that outside leverage, but his cushion was 8 so quickly. And when your cushion is 8, the receiver has to try to find a way to work your blind spot, right? So he takes that outside release. Now he pushes vertically, and right here, you're seeing the receiver give him a move outside and then break back in. Ultimately, because that is Kendall Fuller's blind spot, he respects it. It gets put on his ass, essentially, or damn near. The middle was wide open. And maybe he got spooked, Justin Fields did, because he saw the opportunity. And maybe Jonathan Allen got in his way. And we'll show the other angle right now. But you're seeing him right here clutch. He has to commit to the throw. This is a late stunt. Like, that was late. The ball is... Why are you holding it? Why are you holding back? Like, that's a timing throw. You know he's open. And I hate how, like, when I watch this tape myself, how this became a film session on how Justin Fields is missing so much. Like, it's crazy. And it's frustrating from a standpoint of, like, bro, you got a lot of potential with your arm. Your legs is obviously you're an elite athlete. You're a strong athlete. Why aren't you making this throw? Like, you saw it. Make the throw. Make the throw. But yeah, that's what happened, man. He saw that blind side, able to work inside on a third down situation, 2-minute situation. He just did not get the opportunity to make a catch, and things like that. So, all right, back to some good. Again, Jamin Davis. Like I said, I'm going in order. I was gonna do like good and then bad, but I think as the game goes along, you kind of get a feel for how things were going too. So, I guess either way worked. And that's a good read from Jamin Davis. So somebody had asked me on Twitter, like, how is Jamin Davis coming along? Because it's been very quiet on Davis's end. And I think when it comes to Jamin, man, it's important to acknowledge that, you know, he's still growing, right? But he's also not as bad as people imagine him to be. Like last year. Last year wasn't good. And even in the preseason, he was showing signs of improvement. And as the year goes along, like those first 2 games weren't that kind to Jamin Davis, right? But he's been improving, or excuse me, let me be clear. He's been stabilizing his play. I don't think he's very good or great or anything, but he's been stabilizing his play, and trying to, you know, solidify that second level in a sense. But back to the point, good read. Right, 62 is able to control. I think who was that? Jonathan Allen. Looks like John. Able to control Jonathan Allen, but with 62 being able to force Allen to that play side gap, Davis just replaces Allen and makes a play on the ball. 1 yard gain. 1 yard gain. So that was really good for Jamin Davis. And I think the thing is too, right? People mentioned like the missed tackles, right? And Jamin Davis had one. We showed one on that pitch play. A couple other people had missed tackles. Cole Holcomb, he has a couple missed tackles that were egregious, like egregious. And we're trying to figure out where, you know, these are coming from. I honestly think that this was a short week. This is an anomaly too, mind you. Like, obviously the defense haven't been great, but it hasn't been off the fact that they had poor tackling. Like, this was a game in which they just had poor tackling. And that's kind of where I'm like, these people were in position to limit gains. And that's good. That's good for the most part. They were in position to limit games. Limit gains and not games. My bad. Jamin has vastly improved compared to last year. He's not on top 20 status, top 25. That's still, like, a lot of people use 2 linebackers, so like that's some use 3. I don't know about top 25 yet. It seems that it's always a bust with Kendall, McCain, and So here's the thing: Kendall, McCain, linebackers, and William Jackson. But William Jackson ain't in the picture no more, and I really think it's a lot to do with Kendall. To be honest with you, but yeah, William Jackson was there too. Like, he was a good reason for some of the coverage busts as well. Okay, where we at? Okay. Another thing, again, when I talked about how this could have been a film session on Justin Fields, you're about to see here why. All right, so let's go ahead and run this back, and we'll talk about the structure, and then we'll talk about how the pressure impacted his throw. So, what play is this? My bad. Let me go ahead and get this thing situated. This is play 40. Okay. So ultimately, good pressure eliminates the throw, right? You're taking away the option because he can't even get the ball out. However, I think this is cover 4 structure. And Kendall Fuller is playing. So my bad. Look at the bottom of your screen. Look at the field side between Kendall Fuller and that receiver. I don't know who that is. I can't see the number right now. But this is what we're looking at. Kendall Fuller is in the 4 zone. I said the 4. Cover 4 zone. So he's playing, he's deep. If he carries vertically, he's deep. But here's the thing. That curl is open immediately to Justin Fields. And when you see the other angle, you'll see that Justin Fields was looking at the curl. So in a natural zone void, this is just open, right? And I'm not necessarily going to give Fuller a true knock. Like, if the quarterback sees this and completes it, it is what it is. And maybe I might be wrong in terms of a coach trying to tell, or a coach telling him that he could play this better. But that zone void is there. He chooses against it, and then we'll see what happens here. Again, a good way for pressure to get home and disrupt his throw, but he should have never threw that way in the first place. Now, you see his head. You're not going to see it truly because of the goal line. I mean, the goal post. But you see, if you don't see it, his helmet is looking left. He sees the curl. So let's go ahead and keep it pushing. But he looks the curl off. Why? Why do you look the curl off? But anyway, back to the pressure part. You got 4 down linemen, and you got 2 linebackers in the 4-2-5. Essentially a Buffalo nickel because Cam Curl is to the right of Cole Holcomb. Montez Sweat gets there immediately, working that rookie left tackle with a very good bull rush. Very good bull rush. And also, let me go ahead and get into the nuances of this. Now, this is a rookie, right? And the reason why sometimes I don't, this is me respectfully, like y'all been chopping it up with me for a minute, so I would like to imagine y'all kind of have an idea who I am. It's hard for me to give credit to a 5th-year player who could be as dominant as Montez Sweat could be, and he's beating up on a rookie like this. Yes, you need to work your matchups. You cannot control who's in front of you. You have to dominate those guys. Montez Sweat dominated this rookie. He dominated Cam Robinson in the first game. He consistently dominates tight ends, right? He'll run through a receiver who has to chip him or has to block him for 2 seconds. But it's hard for me to give credit against guys like this. Even the game last week, I don't know the tight end. I mean, the tackle that he was up against with Tennessee, but he wasn't that good. Oh, my bad. I meant to break it down. So obviously his length is a problem, right? He has good leverage going up against him. It looks like a speed to power type of thing. But because of his arm length, right? Because of where his hands are, it's difficult for 70 to replace. Like, and what I mean by replace is like use of hands is important in any engagement in the trenches, right? And when you're out leveraged, you have to try to fight to regain leverage. He's not able to do that. But he's not able to do that only because, or for two reasons. Because of that arm length, right? Like, you saw him right here. He tries to replace, but he can't. And now you have Montez Sweat reestablishing his leverage as he continues to drive back into the quarterback by moving his right hand into the elbow or the arm, right? So he cannot replace. He's out of position. He can't balance. He can't anchor. It's a done deal for him. He doesn't see it coming. He just gets driven back. End of the play dead. Credit to Montez Sweat for taking advantage of the rookie. Very good rep. So yeah, like I said, I have no issue with Montez Sweat personally, but it's just hard for me to give credit like for a guy who is playing good, but he's doing it against the people who aren't that experienced. Like, look at the game that he had against Taylor Decker in Detroit, or I forgot the other tackle, but the tackles against Detroit, right? Also, you can take a look at, I think, the Eagles game too. That provided some problems for him in terms of trying to get home to the quarterback. So yeah, just look at these things, man. Look at their matchups. Look at those matchups, man. He's winning against some of the people that are out kind of ranked below him in a sense. All right, so let's go ahead and keep it pushing. Efe Obada, I like this play. Another individual performance, individual play that was made similar to Wild Goose. So now this one, Sweat playing like Brian Orakpo. Brian Osakpo. People used to call him that, bro. That was terrible. Okay, so now similar to, remember that first play where I said the kick out where Cam Curl, if you've been here from the beginning, Cam Curl made a play in a kick out block. Now this one is a little different because the tight ends aren't aligned on the side of number 70, right? But you got somewhat of a zone structure, in a sense, a zone blocking structure. You have the kick out block for number 35. He's responsible for kicking out the defensive end. 70 is going to climb to the next level once he helps 62 fit his block, right? So 62 overtakes 93, Jonathan Allen. That's a successful block. Now you have Jamin Davis. As the lineman climbs, Jamin tries to beat the block by getting under the block. But now he's out of position. And you see the lane right here. So Jamin Davis gets himself out of position trying to get under the block as opposed to taking on the block, right? Oh, I don't know what just happened. All right, what the hell? I'm about to say, what just happened? All right, so now you have Efe Obada. Let's get back to him because we've seen what happened between number 70 and number 62, and we've seen what happened with Jamin Davis. Efe Obada quickly recognizes what's going on. 35 gets pushed back. He beats the block, Efe Obada does, and is able to, once again, similar to Wild Goose, save a big play. Oh, Lord. Work email, everybody. My bad. All right, so now you see what happens. Efe Obada makes a play. It makes a really good play given what's going on behind him. So very good rep from Efe Obada right there as we continue to push forward. And then you have the situation. Think about, Jay, think about what you said and think about this as well, right? So, and think about if everybody was in here for a while, if you're just checking in, The issue with these guys in this game, especially in the past game, was the second level after play action. After those action plays, they really sucked up our linebackers in terms of getting them to the first level and creating that opportunity, that second level throwing window for the Chicago Bears. Easy pitch and catch. So, a couple things going on here. Let's start with the second level and then we'll work our way back. Obviously, that fake pitch gets Cole Holcomb and Jamin Davis flowing laterally, but also moving towards the line of scrimmage. So they're not in any position to defend anything behind them. So now they already lost. They lost right here. They already lost. Fake pitch. Davis is still running. He's still running to that side. Cole Holcomb just figured out it's a fake. So now you have to try and find a way to get back in your zone depth, but you're too close to the line of scrimmage, and you're also not moving in the way in which the play is intended. So you're completely out of the play now. Even if you're not supposed to be in the flat, because you're not supposed to, and here's the reason why. Like they're supposed to be in the hook zone, which is near the middle of the field. And it's in essence, if they were in their position, they would be able to see the crosser and maybe even carry until the help actually arrives. So you saw the completion. Let's go back to the coverage. It's an example of good communication. You have Kendall Fuller at the bottom of your screen. Next to him, I believe, is Bobby McCain. And then you have at the midfield area, Derek Forrest. So you have Benjamin St-Juste at the top of your screen taking off. He's running with the vertical. Like, that's a given. Now you have, if this is a 3, which it is, Bobby McCain is replacing Kendall Fuller. Because there's a crosser, Derek Forrest is responsible for carrying the crosser. And you see Kendall Fuller pointing to Derek Forrest to carry that crosser. And he recognizes that, but he recognizes it late. With Derek Forrest, this ain't the first time that it's happened. And I'm not saying it's a huge problem, but I am saying when you talk about strengths and weaknesses, he is sometimes late on seeing plays develop. He's kind of late. So that click and close ability for him, like, he should have seen that. And he should have felt that route coming, especially on the boot action. So that's what you're seeing right here. And I don't know if you have a good screen or if the screen is big enough for you to see Kendall Fuller pointing. And it's a good part that I pause it right here. You see him pointing. Tell him to carry it. And he's not able to get there. So big gain. Linebackers getting sucked up and in the run action. And things like that. So that's that. Let's go ahead and keep it pushing. Where we at? I got 2 more. This is just a 12-man play. I think this is probably everybody's problem with Kendall Fuller. Like, we're trying to figure out how you get beat on. How do you have 12 men on the field and still get beat? Well, it happens when your cushion is 8 once again, and the guy who's checking you or the guy you're checking just blows right past you. Like, that's just bad. Like, was he tired? Does his hamstrings hurt? Does his calves hurt? Blew right past him. Like, that's an athletic problem. When people talk about this defense, like what went wrong or what's going on, like sometimes these players just aren't better than the players that's lining up on the other side of them. And I don't think Kendall Fuller, like, for all his worth, like, he's a very smart player, but athletically he is challenged. Like, you're playing off coverage and you get smoked like that. Yeah, that ain't no good. 12 man on the field. You can't, I mean, regardless if it's 12 man or not, you know what your assignment is. You ain't supposed to be getting beat like that. And then last thing, this the same one? Okay. This may be the same one. Let's see. This the toss play? Oh no, just another credit to Jamie Davis. Now Kendall Fuller got the tackle on this play, but his recognition off the snap, right? His speed, his lateral speed to beat the block, shed the block, and at least get to the play for everybody else to rally. Like Kendall Fuller ultimately gets credit for the tackle, but that's a play made by Jamie Davis. And they may have credited him for a missed tackle on this one too, statistically. But you see him, like, he's making the play. So for all it's worth, you got to understand that, you know, they were in position in the run game to make plays on designed run calls, right? Let me be clear. Designed run calls, they were in position to make plays. The difference is obviously when it comes to Justin Fields taking off, some missed tackles hurt him. Cole Holcomb got hurt on a couple of occasions, missing tackles, and things like that. So those are the differences. Like designed run calls, they were in position. They gave up a couple pop runs here and there, but that's all throughout the course of the game, especially for a team who runs a lot. But ultimately, what you're looking at, Herbert had, I'm pulling up the numbers. Herbert had a 67-yard run or 64-yard run, but he had 7 carries for 75 yards. Do the math there. David Montgomery, 15 carries, 67 yards. Do the math there. Like, these guys are playing solid in the run. They're in position, but you got to eliminate the explosives. There is no excuse for that. But I think they're solid for the most part in run defense from execution standpoint, being able to hold their own at the point of attack, but also individuals making plays. Like Wild Goose making plays is solid, especially in the box. That's solid. If you can have a guy like that who can play in the slot and have no fear in the box, that's good. And then you have obviously Cam Curl roaming around the box. Jamin and Cole are more trustworthy against the run than they are against the pass. They're seeing things a little bit more clear. They're committing, like, you know, if they ain't always right, they're committing and they're creating havoc at the line. But obviously the defensive line as well is doing their part altogether. So you saw some of those examples from the defensive line and also from that secondary. But here's the thing that I'm gonna point out. What's going on with you, Dakota? Here's the last thing I'm gonna point out is we saw the flow with the linebackers, right? We saw that and how they respond to play action. I want you to look at how the Jets respond to play action. This is one play. I've seen a couple of examples, but I just wanted to pull out the best one. Okay. So here's how they handle their play actions from a linebacker standpoint. Think about how, you know, what happened with Cole Holcomb and Jamie Davis. That's very good depth right there. They're still in position to carry anything over the middle. Like, that's very good discipline. Like, obviously, if it is a run, that's going to be one thing. But and for context purposes, this is 1st and 10. So you have play action available to you, you have run, and you have pass available to you. So you have 3 different options, and they're able to show their discipline. Obviously, through film study, they probably see that this is going to be a pass. But either way, look how they're not 2 yards away from their linemen. They're not that sucked up. So they still have good enough depth to find their zones, reach their zones. This is like a spot drop type of thing. Like, they're just trying to get there. And now that linebacker who's in the middle is probably CJ Mosley. He's carrying a crosser. He has a feel for the crosser. Now he's running with the crosser. Right? Ultimately, incomplete pass. Very good defense from the second level. And that's an example of how to properly, like, address that play action thing. Like, if you have enough depth, you're not able to have that crosser behind you. Like, they tried to get that crosser behind them. And that's good coverage, man. That's really good coverage. And that's just one example. But like I said, the Jets did a really good job against the Packers for the most part, handling that play action from a discipline standpoint. And the linebackers for Washington, after you've seen the reps that they had against Chicago, it's going to be a lot that happens against Green Bay. Now, it may be the case that Green Bay probably can't run the ball that well. Like, perception-wise, the league knows a little bit better than we do. They scout a little bit better than we do. However, the Packers are the 13th yards per game, 13th in yards per game, 12th in yards per attempt. So they do run the football. So, you know, who knows? Who knows? But ultimately, that's going to be a challenge, man. You have to stop the run, but you also have to be honest in those play action looks and trust your linemen at least to hold up so you can have a clear path to the rusher. But that's kind of where I'm at, man. It's play action a lot. Washington will have an opportunity. Now, this is Wednesday, so we're going to talk a little bit more on Friday. But Washington has an opportunity to take advantage of some of their offensive linemen with Montez Sweat and Jonathan Allen. Particularly, what's that guy's name? Royce Newman, the right guard. He struggles with power. And who does Washington have? They have power rushers. Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat. Those are guys, if you can try and get that matchup on that right guard, whether it's some stunts or some alignments, you should have a good opportunity to really stop some passes or some dropbacks on Aaron Rodgers. Okay. So that's it for us, or that's it for me. We got a day today. I got a day. Got some work to do. Nanaki, I appreciate the follow on Twitch, man. Make sure you keep coming back. Washington Commanders Morning Show, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, 7 a.m. Eastern. Trapper Dive Podcast, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Wednesdays. And then we got the post games as well, right after the games. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all keep it up. Keep coming back. Appreciate y'all. And on the YouTube side, man, I'm going to go ahead and dip. I'll be back. What's today? Wednesday. So we'll be back Thursday. And then tonight is the All 32 side of Trapper Dive. So make sure y'all look out for that one. With me, my boy Nick, and my boy Raph talking the NFL and things like that. So we out of here. Y'all be safe. Enjoy y'all day. Enjoy y'all morning. All that good stuff. Peace.